everyone, this is Greg, K4HSM, and I'm coming to you from Big Ridge State Park in East Tennessee. Shelter number 1 is right back there, but I'm going to just use this little picnic table. I don't need the entire shelter, but they've had POTA Paloozas from up here at Big Ridge in the past. So I think they're going to be doing one next month, but I think it's going to be up at Cove Lake, just north of here. So, this is one of the places they've had POTA Palooza in the past here in East Tennessee. If you want to know more about Parks on the Air, if you want to get ideas on what to do with your setup and how to set up a POTA style rig and operation, this is the best time to do it, is during a POTA Palooza. I was able to get a lot of inspiration from various operators during POTA Paloozas, both here and up at the Cove Lake State Park. But we're going to get set up here. We're going to try and make a few contacts, and then there's a radio club meeting I'm going to attend later tonight, so killing 2 birds with 1 stone. We're going to do Parks on the Air from here, and hopefully we'll make a bunch of contacts. I've got a few new toys to try out, so we'll see how things go. Okay, so believe it or not, I brought my JPC-12 antenna today, and I've actually got a new toy to use with it, sort of. But one thing about the JPC-12 that comes out of the box is the ground radials is basically ribbon cable. Very thin, very scraggly, and I was not impressed with it. So what I did was I bought this JPC-12 radial plate, and then I got me, now I could have bought 18 gauge, like 100 foot of 18 gauge wire for, like, I mean, I was seeing some rolls of 18 gauge wire going for $30 on Amazon. But what I did was I got RCA 18 gauge speaker wire and got a 100 foot roll. And what's the best thing about it is it comes as a two wire pair. It comes like you know, in pairs. You know, it's speaker wire, so it's 2 wires. A 100 foot roll was $10, and you get an extra 100 feet. So 200 feet of speaker wire, and putting these little prongs on. I'm going to attach them to the radial plate. I made 8 of them. I'm going to start out with 4 and see how that goes. They're about 16.5 feet long, and we're going to see how that goes, because it's supposed to be basically a quarter wave on 20, and it's supposed to help with 40 and 10. But we'll get this set up and we'll see how this goes. I've used this JPC-12 antenna at Norris Dam when I was camping up there last year, so it's a really good antenna. I actually made a contact with Alaska doing Parks on the Air. So my first contact with Alaska was on this antenna, and it comes with a stake that you put into the ground. You put the ground radial here, the plate. Here's where you attach your coax. Twist it in, if I can get it to twist in. There we go. And you just attach the radials around it. So let's get it set up. I'm going to start out on, I think I'm going to start on 40 meters, and then we'll try our hand at 20 and see what other bands we got. This coil has a couple of markers. This one's for 20 and this one is for 40. So the more coils that you have, the lower the frequency you can tune. So up here you've got about 5 to 7 turns when you put the clip up here, and you got to watch it. I'll try and show this, but the clip here it goes on one wire. If you put it in between two wires, okay, like this, I don't know, like I said, it may be hard to see, but if you have it between two wires where it's making contact with two wires, you're going to lose that connectivity or that tuning. It's going to be tuned differently. So you got to just where that clip is, where the actual physical clip is, there's a slight indentation, and that needs to make contact with the wire. So hopefully it shows up on here. But the little red marker is supposed to give you a good idea of where the 20 meters is. Actually, that's supposed to be gold, if I'm not mistaken, and that's red, but looks like it's kind of gotten a little bit of a discoloring. Not used it a whole lot, 5 or 6 times. Used it right after the Sevierville Hamfest, which was not able to do a video on because I had a table out there in the boneyard, and I was doing pretty well. Got rid of a lot of my stuff. In fact, 90% of my stuff was given to good homes, so that's what counts. Now I'm going to extend this antenna. I don't know, you don't need to pull it at the top. You know, you don't need to pull it out at the top. Just slide it through using the shaft of the telescopic. That's all you need to do. And yeah. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the radial to give you an idea of what this looks like. It's about 14-15 feet tall when fully extended. You can buy extra poles, these little shafts here. They call them vibrators. Pretty much you can buy all these parts separate. The radial plate was not included with the antenna. I bought that separate. All right, so here's the speaker wire. I'm going to go ahead and pull that out. And I got this antenna as a gift from a good friend of mine who I won't name him, but he you know, he's been top notch, and I can't thank him enough. Okay, so I got 4 radials set up, and now gonna get the coax and get it up here. Now, the last park I did was the Roosevelt Mountain Wildlife Management Area. I only operated HF 40 meters for like 20-25 minutes, but I made 15 contacts in that short period of time. So I've got about an hour to do this. I'm hoping I can do several bands, you know, not just 1 or 2. So I think I have it set up for 20 meters right now, so I'll double check that, and then we'll get on the air. I also have this cheat sheet for the JPC-12. This actually can help you. It's not a guarantee that it's going to be completely perfect tuning, but it gives you a basic idea of how many you know, how many of these bars under the loading coil you need, how high the whip antenna needs to be extended, and where to put the coil itself, where to put that clip on the coil. It's a kind of a shortcut thing. You could still tune it and still you know, fine tune it to what you need, but it's a good guide. I'll see if I can put a link up to the document in the description of the video. Another toy that I bought is ground clamp. So it comes with these alligator clips. called crocodile clips on the Amazon listing, go figure. But nice little brass copper rod with a ground wire to the alligator. I'm going to put it right next to it, just a little extra guarantee that we're good and properly grounded. Rubber mallet for the win. Okay, so I made a couple of adjustments to my go box. The last video that had it on there from Mount Roosevelt, I actually changed out the antenna tuner. Dropped the LDG antenna tuner out and put in a ATU 130. The LDG is a good one, but it's just got a couple of LEDs to kind of give you an approximation of what the SWR is, whereas this one is a little more accurate. So I plug in my 706 to the battery box, and I can take that ground clamp that I just bought, I can clamp it to the side of this chassis and put that direct to ground. I can go either with the antenna or with this. So now let's see the antenna. Takes a little finagling to get in there. I think what I'm going to need to do is put a small jumper in there just so that I can quickly plug it into coax next time. I had some previously and I can't remember what I did with it, but I do have a small jumper somewhere around. Alright, so here's the power supply. The only thing it's powering is these two, the antenna meter here and the antenna tuner here. That's all that's doing. The 706 is going directly in to the battery terminals here. So all I have to do is power this on. Let me get the microphone out. I've got a headset mic as well as a foot switch. I'll use the microphone like I did at Mount Roosevelt so that you all can hear. US 2931. I gotta remember that. US 2931. It's a good way to remember it. Even better. When I bypass the tuner, 1.15. With the tuner, 1.17. So I can go without the tuner. QRZ, QRZ is the frequency in use. K for HSM. What the hell? All right, something's not right. Here. All right, something's going on. I'm not sure what it is. I'm going to go ahead and change out the coax. All right. There's another park near the frequency. Kilo 4 Hotel Sierra Mike, park to park.
Kilo 4 Hotel Sierra Mike, Gregory 58, Alpha Sam 2133.
Roger, need your park again. This is park 2931, 2931, US 2931.
QSL 2931, my park is US 2133, 2133, 2133.
Roger, 2133, you're 5 and 9 by the way, great signal, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for hunting, good luck out there, bud,
7 threes. Yeah, first contact's a park to park. Why can't I delete it? What the hell? Never can have a smooth operation. Okay, let's try this again. Let's go somewhere where I'll be close to him. Let's do 256. He was on 253. QRZ is frequency in use. Uh-oh. Somebody's on there. Okay. QRZ is frequency in use. CQ POTA parks on the air. CQ POTA parks on the air. This is Kilo 4 Hotel Sierra Mike, parks on the air. Uh-oh. Somebody jumped on there. CQ parks on the air. CQ parks on the air. Kilo 4 Hotel Sierra Mike, K4HSM parks on the air. Kilo Fox 0 station, park to park. Go ahead. Kilo 4 Hotel Sierra Mike. You are US 2931. Roger, need your call and your park. Call and your park. US 2931 here. Need your park. Copy. US 5712. UR 2931. US 2931. Can I get your call again? This is Kilo 4 Hotel Sierra Mike. Kilo Fox 0, Uniform November Charlie. Thanks for your patience.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
Thanks, you the same. K4 HSM, park to park, 7 threes. Kilo 4, Hotel Sierra Mike, parks on the air. I may have to set up my half wave end fed because I don't know why, just not doing what I expected. I've had good performance out of this antenna. I'm not sure what's up. Okay, so I'm having to wrap things up here, but and I'm sorry I didn't record, but 40 meters blew up on me again. I had I made a contact with a friend of mine, W8 UFO, who was in Knoxville. And then I put myself out there on the POTA app, and it just exploded. I went from wondering if everything was okay to making a bunch of contacts on 40 meters. So probably gonna have to do some editing because some of this stuff is a little out of sync, but for the most part, all the pertinent information is in there. And got my first contact with a DX station outside of Canada, Barbados, Bravo 0012. So that's another feather in my cap. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap things up. I'm gonna go attend a club meeting with the Clinton Amateur Radio Service. I'm gonna be there next month to do a presentation on Skywarn if anyone is interested. And not a Skywarn training session, just how we do Skywarn nets here in East Tennessee. So with that, I'm gonna say 7-3s, and we'll talk to you later. Okay, so just to show you how crazy I am, over there, that's Norris Dam. Maybe hard to see, but right there is a big high tension power line. And my antenna is just right about there, about 20 feet away. And I'm on 40. I banged out 30 plus contacts on 40 meters a couple of hours back. Went to a club meeting for Clinton Amateur Radio Service, and I figured on a whim I'd come up here just to see what I could do, because I'm right next to the Norris Dam State Park. So I'm going to give it a little bit of time and see if I can make a few contacts. If I can, great. If not, no worries. Okay, so I did operate from Norris Dam, but I have an issue. I think the power tower here, the high tension power line, caused some distortion because I was getting reports that my signal was distorted. So I think that was a definite problem. So, but I got my 10 contacts, so it's an official park activation. I just had to try it. I had to try it. So, POTA is definitely getting to be a very addictive habit of mine. But anyway, we're gonna pack it all up here and get home, and we'll see you all later.